If you're not in nursing university, you will never understand this. I'm a fourth year nursing student and I'm a final year nursing student. Today I want to talk about why nursing university is harder than people think. Now the first point that I really want to talk about is mental pressure and not just studying. So the pressure that actually nursing university students actually go through is immense. Now, it's not only just studying, because also there's other aspects of the pressure that you go through in nursing university. There's the pressure that you go through in internship, in exams, not only studying but also lectures, balancing internship and exams and your life. Even if you have anything, even if small, there is a lot of pressure to actually maintain it. In fact, a lot of students, and this is coming from personal experience, they have very hard difficulty of even going to the gym while going or doing universities, being in nursing university, because of how hard it is. They really don't have any time left. And let me explain this. Now, when it comes to mental pressure, not just studying, there is mental pressure for sure. The first one when it comes to the exams. Now, especially in the first year, I would say this is more, when it comes to exams, it's more of the first year. There is a lot of mental pressure when it comes to exams. Because one, you're not used to the topics, you're not used to subjects, you're not used to pretty much anything really. So you have to go through this with a very new mentality, exploring everything, and at the same time you have the pressure to perform and you have to answer the exams, and if you don't, you repeat the year, or you lose the class, or you fail at the subject. Now there's some other type of it, which is the internship pressure, which is throughout the university or nursing university. Because internship, as an example, I have 1,200 hours of internship. It's a lot. It can be in 1 year. It's diverse. It's all of it. And every year you upper the levels of, let's say, internship services that you go through. As an example, the operation room and emergency room, it's not, let's say, a normal service. So there's different types of services, and obviously some services needs more education and needs you to study a specialized subjects in nursing university than others, which is obviously just uppers the pressure that's on you. I would say another aspect of it is also the pressure, or the mental pressure, not just studying, is actually the pressure when you handle your emotions. So emotional pressure is very big as well, because you have to deal with patients. So this is not related to being in university or being a student in a university, but actually dealing with patients. It's a lot of pressure. Now the second point, in talking about emotion, I really want to talk about the emotional weight of seeing patients suffer. So the emotional weight is one of the biggest thing that really, or early university students actually suffer from. And it's not only because they're unused to it or they haven't adapted to it yet, but it's because it's just hard. And it doesn't get easier, you just go harder, or you just adapt and you find ways on how to actually not get as affected as the beginning. Because seeing patients suffer is not a small deal. You'll find some patients that are suffering, some patients that are unconscious, some people that really are in severe situations that they really can't move, they can't do even their basics of needs. And this is what suffering is. Because if they were not, they won't be in a hospital, they won't be hospitalized. You won't probably even see them as a nurse or a nursing university student. So, and this is one of the reasons why nursing university is way harder than people think, is that emotional suffering alone that you see, the emotional weight of seeing patients suffer, just makes it harder 10 times more, especially at the beginning. Because if you don't find a way of how to somewhat keep yourself, because if you are emotionally affected from each patient that is suffering, you cannot do your job. Because every patient that you will see will be suffering. If he was not suffering, you won't see him in the first place. Right? The biggest part of our job as nurses is to treat people. There's the prevention side, which is quite big, but the biggest side is treatment. Hospitals are pretty much all treatments. So you want to treat patients that are suffering. Now that suffering, you have to handle that pressure. You have to handle that emotional situation, obviously to not affect you, so you can actually continue with your job. And that's one of the reasons why university or nursing university is quite harder than what people think. The third point is physical fatigue from long days. Now fatigue, I would say actually I was surprised of how much people actually know about this. I'd say especially in the US, people know that nurses have a lot of fatigue because you have to stay, basically you have to walk and stand up for long hours, and you have to pass the treatment. You have to actually do the surveillance, or you have to track patients and their drugs. Now all of this gives you a quite big physical fatigue, right? It gives you a quite big physical fatigue, obviously from long days. You have a long day's work. You have very long days work because a lot of the shifts could be 8 hours, could be 12, could be 24 hours. Sometimes it could be even 48 hours shift. 48 hours shift, it will suck the life out of you. It will drain you. Even 24 hours will drain you. Even 12 hours will drain you. Even 8 will drain you. Even 4 could drain you as a nurse. And this is why nursing university is harder. Obviously, it's not only one that has this. Obviously, medical students also has the same. It's the same field, almost the same thing. They have the same shifts, right? Although different, obviously different acts and different priorities and properties. But it's one of the things that actually make nursing university quite hard. I would say the fourth point that I really want to add is constant evaluation and judgment. So judgment is very, very big in nursing university because you're not only getting judged by yourself first, you're not only getting judged by your professors and supervisors, you're not only getting judged by your colleagues, you're not only getting judged by the staff, you're not only getting judged by, let's say, if there is some other colleges or universities, but you're getting judged by all of them combined, which is quite tough. So a lot of this judgment comes to you at your shoulder as a nursing university, and it's one of those moments that you really have to step up. And this is one of the points where a lot of early nursing university students, and I was one of them. So when I was young, like first year, second year nursing university student, whenever I do something and there's a lot of people around me, I get stressed. Oh, I know, but there's a lot of people. And I remember everybody was making this excuse. Oh no, there's a lot of people around me. But as a nurse, you realize that that is your job. Your job is to do your act. It doesn't matter if there's a billion people watching you. It doesn't really matter. It's almost, when people talk about the flow stage, that's what you go through as a nursing university student. As an example, just this week or the other week, I was in a room with 21 other students, not from my college, not from my university, it was private schools. So 21 private school students, and without the supervisors and without one colleague that I had. So pretty much like 25 in one room. And I was doing the act. I really was zoned out. I couldn't even think about them. I know myself, I'm a final year nursing student, so I'm very confident in what I do, obviously. And I know what I'm doing. But it's one of those things that you really walk through it. Now the fifth point that I really want to talk about is why this difficulty builds strength. Now all of these difficulties actually build a very big, huge strength because it's not only important for your career as a nurse, but also in your life. So strength, pressure, when you are used to pressure in performing under pressure, this make you stronger, so builds you the strength. Emotional suffering as well gives you that, obviously not you suffering emotionally, but dealing with the weight of emotional suffering of the patients. And sometimes you as well, you go through emotional suffering as a nursing university student. The fatigue, whether physically or mentally as well. The judgment, all of this gives you the strength to go through. And that's why the difference between first year university student, nursing university student, and finally university student is like the difference between day and night. Not only in the knowledge, but it's also about your personality, your strength, your mentality. And this is why nursing university is quite harder than what most people think. Here's a quick recap. First, very high pressure. 2, emotional suffering and the way that you have to go through, obviously with patients that are suffering. 3, it's the physical fatigue from long days. 4, the judgment that you have to go through and the constant evaluation. 5, this difficulty builds strength, and I showed you how. Now, please write in the comments down below what is the biggest problem that you have in nursing university, and I'm gonna make sure that I'll make a video about how I fixed it myself for me. Thank you.